Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Kensthetic with the Kensthetics, and I'm here with you guys today with a new video. So today's video, we're real up close and personal because we're gonna do a little makeup video while chatting about the things them. So in today's video, I want to do like a fall inspired makeup look while speaking to you guys about how to level up. What does it mean? What does it entail? Mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that, we're gonna get into it. So if you guys are interested, then go ahead and keep on watching. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy, so that this video can be spread to as many beautiful people across the YouTube platform. Drop a comment down below after you watch this entire video with your thoughts, comments, questions, opinions, all of that. Leave it down below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm trying something new on my camera today. So if I'm not in focus in some parts in the video, please forgive me. We're going to see how this goes. But as you guys can see, I do have acne prone skin. I have a breakout here, dark spots, but skin has come a long way. No, my skin is not perfect. Yes, it is okay. I'm going to show you guys this fall inspired makeup look as I share some tips on how you can achieve a nice beat face if you got acne prone skin, if you have dark spots, if you have textured skin. Then y'all gonna find the tips in this video real helpful. So this is my skin. I just did my morning skincare routine. That's all I did, and I'm gonna go ahead and list all of the items I'm using down below just because I don't want to take up too much time speaking about that throughout the video. So if you guys are interested in any products used, it'll be linked down below. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is a prime. And I'm gonna use a good amount of primer because I want my makeup to last a good old time, okay? So I was inspired to do this chit chat video because honestly the topic just came to mind, and September is the last month of Q3, and believe it or not, Q4 will be here before we know it, and then we'll be planning for 2022. Can you guys believe it? Because I can't. And I'm using my NYX lip oil. This is the best lip oil and it's super affordable. I'm just covering my dark spots using my Fenty Beauty concealer in 410. So leveling up, what does it mean? What does it look like? So first of all, I wanted to disclaim this video by saying leveling up looks different for everyone. Leveling up can be mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, an assortment of multiple, but it can look different for everyone, and it will look different for everyone. Sidebar, look how much my eyebrows have grown. But leveling up will look different for everyone. You leveling up will not be the same as your sister leveling up, will not be the same as your best friend leveling up, will not be the same as your significant other leveling up. So that's the first thing I wanted to say, just because I feel like a lot of times when we're trying to do things, especially with the effect and the impact of social media, as we spoke in my previous chit chat video, that we just feel tempted that things have to look alike or else things aren't right, if that makes sense. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say. I'm using my Canvas by Kimberlina brush to blend out my concealer. So when it comes to leveling up, the way that I think about it is that there's two perspectives to it, right? When it comes to leveling up, you have to understand two major things. You have to understand what you will no longer tolerate and what you're leaving behind. And you also have to understand where you ultimately want to be. So you need to look at it from a past perspective and a future perspective, right? So when it comes to what you will not tolerate anymore, you need to understand what habits did you have that you don't want to display anymore, what people around you don't want to be around anymore, what energy you used to be around that you don't want to be around anymore. That's the first thing that you have to understand, because when you understand what you don't want to tolerate anymore, that helps you really understand what you will tolerate and what you are supporting and what does support where you ultimately want to be. You guys, this brush blends out my concealer so flawlessly, and this brush is black owned, so get you on. Like, look at my face. I don't even need foundation, but I'm gonna still put it on. If you guys have not tried out this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter concealer, I want to know what you're waiting on. I want to know what you're waiting on, because the skin, bitch, flawless. Flawless. Now I'm just gonna set my concealer, basically my whole face, because I spread that concealer a lot. I'm gonna set everything with my Huda Beauty setting powder before we go in with our foundation. And the other angle that you have to understand when you're trying to level up, or you're trying to figure out how to level up, is where you ultimately want to be, right? Because everything you do now impacts your future. Whether it be habits that you have, routines that you follow, everything you do now impacts your future. Everything you do now impacts your future. That's something that you have to really understand to start or continue your process of leveling up. Everything you do now is going to impact your future. So once you understand what you no longer want to tolerate and where you ultimately want to be, I feel like those are two key understandings that contribute to your journey. So I'm just setting my eyebrows using my Fenty Beauty, and I like to put it on my finger to like warm the product up versus just putting it straight on my eyebrows. And I also feel like I use less of the product this way. So this is what I've been doing just to get them brows. I take the leftover setting powder on my sponge and just set them a little so they don't have a glare. So for foundation, I'm going to mix my Estee Lauder Double Wear with my Lancome Teint Idole. If you guys watch my favorite foundations for acne prone skin, if y'all didn't watch it, I'll link it up above. I mentioned that both of these foundations are amazing for acne prone skin because they are both non-comedogenic. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my canvas brush and just spread that on my face. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that foundation in. Yeah, so once you understand those two things, I feel like that can help jumpstart your journey of leveling up. So right now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, if you guys don't, you should, at Kensthetic_. The book that I'm reading right now is Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. And you guys, that book, so friggin' good, like so good. So if you haven't read it, I highly recommend to check it out. If you want to purchase the physical copy, they usually have it like 20% off at Target, so you guys can get it there. And it's written by a Black man, so supporting a Black business. But that book is so good, and I feel like reading that book, I realized so many things that I feel like I understood them before, but I've never put them in context in my like adult life, if that makes sense. I feel like the book has a bunch of lessons that we hear growing up, we learn in school, but just hearing and seeing his real life examples, I feel like help to put it in context when it comes to my life, or give me like a heads up for things that I'm most likely going to experience. 1, being an adult, 2, being a Black woman, and 3, being, I guess you can say, an entrepreneur in a way, because I do have a 9-to-5 job, but I'm a digital creator like on the side. As you guys see, I have my YouTube channel, I do my Instagram thing, but I feel like that book is just so amazing. If you haven't read it yet, I say all of this to say, make sure you read Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. Amazing book. So one point that he brought up in his book, which I 100% agree with, and I explain this to people all the time, but I feel like the way he said it was just spot on, is that you cannot hang around the same people and be around the same energy and do the same things that you used to do and expect a different outcome. Something that's very important to understand as an adult is that you have different friends for different things. So I have my friends that I can call on when I'm ready to go on a trip. I have my friends I can call on when I need advice when it comes to like YouTube stuff. I have my friends that I can call on when I'm ready to book a trip tomorrow. I have my friends I can call on when I want to go smoke some hookah. I have friends for every occasion of my life. So when it comes to leveling up, I feel like that's very important to make that distinction, because when you think that people are for everything, then that's when you start to question like what you're doing. Even though we would like to have the same friends for everything, which would honestly be amazing, it's just not practical, because if you think about it, we have different types of friends. We have friends from high school, we have friends from college, we have friends from work, we have friends from social media, we have friends from wherever we meet people nowadays, right? So when you meet people, everyone has different interests. So your coworkers are interested in the same thing that you do. Your Instagram friends are into like media things or whatever, social media related. Your high school friends may still be hanging around the hood. So if you're looking for somebody to hang around the hood with, they may be the perfect person for that. No tea, no shade. But we all have friends for different occasions, whether we realize it or not. You guys may realize it after watching this video, but you cannot expect everyone to be down for every cause. And that's important to understand, especially when you're trying to level up. Because if you feel like your friends from high school who are still hanging out in front of the bodega, if they trying to go on a trip with you and you waiting for them, you're gonna be waiting forever, and then you're gonna feel like you're behind because you waited on them. So it's just important to understand that. And another thing that I think is important to understand when it comes to leveling up is that just because you decide to level up or you're noticing that you're leveling up, that does not mean that the people around you have to level up too. And that's very important to understand, because you may feel pressured or you may feel like you're not doing enough for the people around you, when it's just God saying it's not their time yet. And that's absolutely fine that everybody is not leveling up at the same time, at the same speed. God has a different plan for everyone, and we have to really understand that. So just because you got that new job, or just because you're moving out of your hometown, or just because you're traveling around the world and the people around you are not doing that same thing, that does not mean anything. Pay attention to you. That's something else that we need to really make sure that we're doing, is that we're paying attention to ourselves, and we're not really paying it, or not, I don't want to say not really paying attention, but not really being influenced by what's around us. Pay attention to you. Pay attention to signs that God has given you. Pay attention to the blessings that God is giving you. Pay attention to the lessons that God is teaching you. It's important that we pay attention to, because when we get distracted, or when we get too distracted, is when we start comparing ourselves. And as I said probably a million times already in this video, we do not want to compare ourselves. We do not want to compare our journeys, because that's when things get a little. So I went ahead and set my face. Girl, we is looking real good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera now, so I will be right back. Okay, so brows are on for now. I'm not too sure how I feel about them yet, but if anything, I can fix them after. And I went ahead and set the concealer around my eyebrows with setting powder, and I applied it to my eyelid because we are doing an eyeshadow look today. So for eyeshadow today, I'm going to use my One Size Beauty Patrick Star Visionary palette. You guys, this palette is babe. I'm just gonna play around and see what we get. I'm not an eyeshadow connoisseur, y'all know. I'm just not getting into shadows, but practice makes perfect, right? So to continue our discussion, another tip for leveling up is understanding what hobbies or what talents you have are going to help you level up. So whether it be, like for instance for me, one thing that I've noticed that will help me level up is reading different books. When I read different books, I get different perspectives. I get different types of inspo that I won't get from other sources. So I've been making it my business to read either in the morning when I wake up or the evening before I go to sleep, spending less time on social media and spending more time reading. And I feel like there's no wrong with that trade-off. The only thing is that I'm getting inspo from a different perspective, from a different source, if that makes sense. So with me on Instagram, majority of the time I'm scrolling on pages that I find give me inspo, whether it be like motivational videos, whether it be trends, whether it be like new makeup that's coming out or new clothes. I'm looking at inspo for things that I do. You guys know I'm a content creator, so for me it's important to, I don't want to say always keep up with what's going on, but just be aware of what's going on, like what climate we're currently in, right? So that's what I spend majority of my time on social media doing. With me picking up a book versus spending less time on social media is basically giving me inspo in a different aspect. So for me, I get a lot of my like talking points from things that I read, because it sparks a light bulb to be like, oh my god, like that's an idea that I'm passionate about, or this is a topic that I feel like you guys can benefit from if I share on my platform. And you guys know that my objective with my YouTube platform is to help you guys understand the beauty of life in every aspect. That is what Kensthetic stands for. It's Kendra, my name, and aesthetic, a mesh of the two. So I want to figure out different ways where I can do that without doing the same things all the time, if that makes sense. So just understanding what hobbies you should invest in that will help you level up. So whether it be like you like taking pictures and you eventually want to become a photographer one day, what can you do now in order to help you be the best photographer a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now? So just understanding what you're passionate about is very important too. So just because something you're passionate about is not sparking right now or is not taking off right now, that does not mean that that is not what God has destined for you. So make sure that you're investing a sufficient amount of time, a sufficient amount of money in things that you love, because you never know how far it can take you. And it's just crazy because there's this photographer that I met recently, and his work is so off the chain. And I overheard a discussion he was having, and he was speaking to another photographer basically saying that he's only been doing this for 4 months. And I'm like, you only been doing this for 4 months and your work is this good? Like, I can only imagine how like talented you're gonna be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, to see that this is only what you produce from a year, 4 months of you doing this basically. So I say that, and I share that story to say that don't put a time on your process of leveling up, or your journey of leveling up. Understand why you're doing it, and once you understand why you're doing it, then it won't feel like you're doing it. It's just you being you, or you doing what you know you have to do, and not you saying like, oh my god, I'm waiting for a result, or I'm waiting for this, or I'm waiting to make this much money. It's just more so like you're doing this because you actually want to do it. This is coming out very cute, very much so cute. Nice little brown, chocolatey. I low-key want to do a brown lip too, but we'll see. We'll see what we're feeling like on the lips. The next thing that I wanted to say is to make sure that you have the attitude and that you are moving like you are that girl and you are that boy. I understand that that's gonna take a certain level of confidence for you to feel like that, but make sure that you're building that confidence so that you can feel like that girl or that boy. Because when you feel like you're that girl or that boy, that's when you act, when you talk, like when you walk, like you're that girl and you're that boy. And that's very important when it comes to leveling up, because you always want to make sure that 1, you're confident in yourself, and 2, you're acting like who you eventually want to be. I'm trying to think if I want to put a color on my lid or leave it like this. Leave it like this or put a color on the lid. I think I'm gonna put a color on the lid because I've been doing a lot of just like brown eyeshadow looks with no color on the lid, and I feel like it's time that we level up and we put a color on the lid. Okay, so I think I'm going to use, let me see, there's a few shimmers in this palette. All of it a little bit too much, everything too much, title holder too much, walnut strut. Maybe we could do walnut strut. Let's see, these individual lashes, they need to come off because I'll just put a little bit of everything on my lid from this palette. Not everything. Oh my god, let me picking up the wrong color. Ooh, that's pretty. That is super pretty. OMG. I'm gonna use a small detail brush to get in this corner. How pretty is that? Listen. And I'm just gonna take some more brownie to blend out those edges. And I'm going to take some of Sweet Charm to just smoke out everything else. Real easy, real simple. We like that. We love that. We don't like that. We love that. Okay, now to contour. I'm going to use my Sephora bronze and just pat that on first. But yes, as I told you guys, I just thought this video was timely to do now, just because we have one more month of Q3 and then we're moving into Q4. This year, I don't know about y'all, but to me, 2021 flew by. I forgot that we were in September. Like, I was saying the date today and I'm like, August. I'm like, it's not August anymore, Kenny. It's definitely September. So we have goals that we wrote down at the beginning of this year, which we should have done. If you guys watch my vision board video, I'm using my Fenty Beauty Powder Foundation to just add some more color back to my face. But if you guys watch my vision board video at the beginning of 2021 and you guys like did the assignment and we set our goals, we have our vision board of things that we told ourselves in the beginning of this year that we are going to accomplish this year. So we have 1 month basically and 1 quarter left to get those things done. So we have to make it count. And in order to make it count, in order to get those things done, we have to be in a good place mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. So I just think that it was important to give us this reminder that we need to level up. It's time to level up. If you did not know, the time is now. It's the fuck now. I'm just gonna take a fluffier brush just to diffuse my bronzer. Let me highlight a little. Glow, glow, glow. Glow on, girl. Glow on, girl. So I went ahead and put my lashes on. These lashes, I always forget to tell you my lashes. These lashes are from AliExpress in the style E12. I forgot how much I love these lashes. They do enough. They don't do too much. So we love them. I'm just going to put my hair down so that we can decide if we want a matte lippy, a gloss. What is it giving? I wish I could ask you guys right now, like, should I do a matte or should I do a gloss? So I have picked out this blood orange from Mented Cosmetics. How do we feel about that? With the brown lip liner or too much? I think it's too much. I just want to do a brown lip. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my MAC chestnut lip liner, my holy girl. And what I'm actually gonna do is just like briefly color in her whole lip and blend it in. I'm taking my Mented Cosmetics Hot Date Liquid Lipstick and I'm just gonna fill in my lid. This color, I don't know if you guys can see, it's a little lighter than the chestnut, which is why I wanted to give us that darker base. She's giving all of the fall feels, period. Okay, so this is the final look. I am in love with it. If you guys don't know, fall is my favorite season, so I am absolutely here for the darker lips. I'm here for the eyeshadow colors. I just love brown. Like, I think that my favorite color has slowly transitioned from being pink to being brown. But I love this look. This liquid lipstick, I forgot how amazing these are. It feels so powdery on the lips, and it gives like a nice matte finish, as you guys can see. But this is the final look. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think. It's the skin for me, it's the lashes, it's the lip, it's everything. Okay, I did that. But comment and let me know what you guys think. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed the chit chat that was included in today's video. Comment down below and let me know if you guys have any thoughts, questions, opinions. Are you guys leveling up? What thoughts do you guys have when it comes to leveling up? Do you guys have any additional tips? Comment down below and let us know. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. Before you guys head out, make sure you guys subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up so that this video can be spread with amazing people across this amazing platform, period. Also, comment and let me know what you guys think of this setup for makeup videos, like me being closer. Is it better? Am I too close? Can y'all see all my f-ups? Comment and let me know. I hope this whole video was in focus. It was in my viewfinder, but I don't know what it's looking like, and my contacts is a little old, but we're not even gonna get into that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until my next one, I'll see you guys later. So my sister, you are now entering the studio of Kensthetic. I'm recording.
Oh, okay, bye.
Bye. Whew. Okay, so I feel like everything is against me recording today, but it's gonna get done. Is this dandruff or foundation? Girl, not me having dandruff in my head. But let's go ahead.